Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and as 2020 comes to an end, I have some very important information about the channel that I wanted to share with you. Now, I figured that now would be a good time as ever to reflect on some of the ways that the channel has grown over the years, my vision for it right now, how things will be changing going forward. There's a lot of things that will be staying the same, and then also share some personal life updates that are pretty significant and will definitely make a difference in terms of how my content will be released going forward. So I'm excited about that. But let's get into the video. I value everybody like you that's part of this community, and I've never really done a strict, here's what's going on in the channel and my vision going forward. So let's do it. So I think it makes the most sense to go in chronological order for this update, and that means we'll start and reflect on the start of the channel. And it was really just me kind of messing around and posting some videos about different coins, trying to see what caught on, and so showing some searches. Originally it was mostly coin roll hunting, but I found that I thought long-term coin roll hunting would be challenging to keep up. I felt like it was very focused on the hunt. It's something that I personally really like doing, but I also really like academics. I'm a big fan of information, the history behind coins. So I started doing more of videos about, here are the general overviews on coins, explaining some of the errors, explaining some of the stories that we see in coinage. That's actually an area that I'll be doing more with going forward. And those were the videos that seemed to take off. I believe it was a video about state quarter errors and Roosevelt dimes that you should be looking for, and those pretty much elevated my channel from the point where I would be excited when I saw that my subscriber count had gone up by 1 to a steady trickle of subscribers every day, and that continued to flourish as I released more videos about information and specifically coins that are rare, and a lot of it is associated with the value. Now, I think that this is an experience that a lot of YouTubers have where they make content that does really well and they're a bit conflicted about, should they keep producing this type of content in the future because it's maybe not their favorite material to make, it's not their highest interest point, and that is the case for me with things like cherry picker errors. However, I'm conflicted because I also really feel as though the videos that I do about them are clearly explained, they're not misleading. I find that that's a very unfortunate thing, is that there's a lot of misleading types of valuation information out there. So I try to be very honest, and I also feel like I keep it concise. So that's going to stay on the channel for the foreseeable future. I'm going to package the content. I'm not trying to release the same video over and over again, though there are scenarios where it makes sense to maybe do an overview for 1 decade of a specific coin, and then previously or in the future do specific year coins, just so that people can find the videos easier. And in my mind, these are the types of videos that generally index a bit better. So when I release them, they might not get tons of views to start out, but over time, hopefully they'll rank highly in the search engines and continue to get views over time, even if they're not super flashy when I release them. That's in contrast to my very favorite types of videos to produce, which fall under a variety of categories, but I would talk about them in the following way. One of them is like collection searches. That's always really interesting for me. That kind of includes the world coins, because those are pretty much just a variety of loose coins that I buy in big batches and slowly go through. So that's always interesting. Same thing with PCGS or graded coin unboxings. It's just always fun to try to practice using my eye to grade coins live and then see if I'm close, and just kind of share more of that information. One of my favorites is when I research a topic in depth about coins that's not really tied too much to the value, but more about historical facts. Maybe the Omega Man counterfeiter was an example of a video that I really enjoyed doing. There's also kind of long form podcast style videos or just conversations with other coin dealers. I always enjoy kind of meeting new people and talking about coins or non-coin related items. That's something that's going to be a channel change going forward. I plan on incorporating a lot of collectibles content as well as totally unrelated content. And I think that it will be not a lot, but more of a slow trickle, and I'll see how that does. But there's some things that I'm excited about exploring in the future. I never thought that when I started this channel, it would have even 10,000 subscribers. I remember watching videos, I believe, rest in peace to Hidden Treasure Hunter. He was one of the first people that I watched on YouTube in coin-related content. I was like, wow, he has an enormous channel. It would be so cool to have that one day. So that's why I'm so thankful for what you and I have built over the past 3 or so years that I've been dedicated to doing YouTube. And so I just want to reflect and say that I'm very thankful for that. Now, one of the big life changes or life updates that I figured I would give you is that I'm going to be taking a year off of doing classes in college. A lot of it has to do, pretty much all of it, with coronavirus. The COVID setback has forced, my school is completely online, and in the coming semester there's going to be significant restrictions to the point where most people are not going back. And it is also, I'm a member, and I can't talk about it for kind of compliance reasons with the NCAA, but I do play a varsity sport in college at the Division I level, though, just to be totally open. I'm definitely not, a starting player, very much on the bench, but working hard, love the sport, and, looking forward to what's to come in the future. But there was a lot of word about a spring season happening for my sport after, normally it's a fall sport, and that is the case for most of the schools playing it. But the Ivy League is very restrictive in terms of what they're doing, so there's not even an opportunity for me to play, this coming spring. So I'd have 2 seasons left either way. I'm going to be playing my seasons then, I guess, fall 2022 and fall 2023. That's in addition to not having the social aspect of college, which is just so important, being around other people in the different sports and clubs and events that are going on. There's no learning being, there is some learning, and thankfully I've done well in classes, but I just feel like the actual learning, what I'm taking away from classes, is like nothing compared to, what I was doing on campus. There's not all these speakers coming in that are really interesting to listen to. There's just a lot less opportunity. So, with that being said, I'm going to be using a year to pretty much work and then do the YouTube channel somewhat full-time. Most of my work will not be in coin-related things. It's, related somewhat to finance, related, I'm going to be kind of bouncing around a few different internships and positions, while also staying focused and producing a lot of content for Treasure Town. But that's what's coming for this next year. So it'll be a much different time in my life. My first time really that I'm doing an extended period, not academic, more focused on work experience for the future. And then also, committing more to really focusing in and trying to build this channel out for the future. Because again, as you know, a lot of the content that I do, I'll film a few months in advance. So this will also help me going forward, because once I go back to school, and especially as I'll likely get a full-time, pretty demanding job, especially after college, I think that it will be challenging to maintain the 3 video a week schedule. And that's what I've been doing. I tried going to 4 once, and I was unable to do that in terms of just keeping up with it. And some of the content that I was talking about earlier, the type that might index better, that's the sort of thing that I want to work really hard to produce a fair amount of right now, so that once I shift into maybe making, 1 video a week, maybe it's 1 video a week plus a long form discussion coming out every other week. Those will be maybe larger types of videos, or it'll be like a fun grab bag unboxing, that sort of thing where I can just kind of film and shoot, but it might be less along the lines of the type of content where it's a lot of just quick research to put together, say, a cherry picker presentation or just a longer narrative, because I could foresee that taking tons of time, and I may not have those opportunities in the future to put that much time into this channel. So that's just kind of my guess. There's also, a very good probability. I didn't think 3 years ago that that this would be something I would do past a fun, side project that I was working on in the start of my junior year of high school. And when I look towards the future, I also feel like, I'm pretty young, I'm 20 years old, but there's also some different life experience that I might want to share, or just perspective. There's also some kind of fun challenges or different, 30-day challenges. Say maybe it's waking up early, or I'm a big fan of the Minnesota Vikings, so I think that they need a kicker. So I thought, maybe it would be fun to try practice kicking field goals for 30 days and go from somebody who's never done it before to, we'll find out. Maybe I won't be able to do a 10-yard field goal, but hopefully my leg will be good enough where maybe I can get in a Vikings game and miss a 20 or so yard field goal, and be as good as what they've had in the past. But anyways, the other thing that I'm planning on doing is shifting to some other types of collectibles. I've really enjoyed some hobbies like Pokemon cards, baseball cards, Magic the Gathering, just a few of these other collectibles. I don't foresee doing this on like a once a week or even every other week. My guess is that that sort of content might come into play like once a month or every other month. Just something to put out there and share with those of you who also share these collectible hobbies, because I think that there are a lot of people doing both coins and some of these other ones. So anyways, the point is there's so much to come. There may be a point where I start releasing even more than 3 times a week, especially with the possibility of me having more time to focus in on Treasure Town. Though long term, in 5 years, my best guess, and I have no idea if this will be the case, is that I'll be doing a little bit less than that. So again, trying to get some more stuff to index, and then for the future, maybe doing more things where it's bigger, more significant individual videos. But I'm really excited about all these things to come in the future. I think I'm going to try to start doing some live streams, opening up my Discord channel to anybody who'd like to join, and just continuing to expand as somebody who loves coins and is sharing that passion and all the knowledge that I really have about coins with all of you. So with that being said, have a happy new year. I hope that if you celebrate, that you had a Merry Christmas, and a good holiday season otherwise. And I'll look forward to seeing you, that's one of my favorite lines to do, on some of my future videos. But it, really is seriously something that I mean every time I say it. It's something that, when I started, I always said, please like, subscribe, comment. It, gives me encouragement to do more videos, and that's really what has happened. It's been a great business as well. I'm not going to deny that it's really awesome having a check that comes once a month and makes an impact. Try to save as much of it as I can, and it's probably going to set me up for being a little more secure in the future. So from the bottom of my heart, I mean it when I say that, like sharing videos with all of you and sharing my knowledge and trying to, there's so many awesome stories that I hear from subscribers and people who are viewing the content, and it makes me so happy. So I'm just excited for what's to come. A little bit of a different kind of thing going forward in terms of where I'm at. And yeah, I'll say it again. Looking forward to seeing you on some of my future videos.